Welcome to Dad Does Fitness. Today we're talking about the push-up, why you should do it, how to progress, and the benefits of it. So, before we get started, if you consider subscribing, it'd be appreciated. Now, the push-up. Probably one of the most basic workouts, calisthenic workouts you can do. You can do it anywhere. All you need is a space on the ground, a little longer than your body, and about just a little wider than your shoulders. So that's all you need. So any normal home, apartment, condo should have that. And if your house is cluttered because you have little kids and there's stuff all over, push to the side or even go outside. You can do it the grass, cement, concrete, tile, carpet, wherever it is. So because of that, that's great. You don't need equipment, and if you do get equipment, it's pretty much higher level push-up. So where you're starting, you don't need it. It can be adjusted to any level. So if you can't do one push-up now, one regular push-up, what you consider feet on the floor, hands, well, there's ways to start that make it a little easier until you can get your strength and endurance up to be able to do a couple regular push-ups. And then beyond that, once you get comfortable doing those, you can make it more intense for yourself by making it harder, more power, explosiveness there. So that's great. It works your shoulders, front shoulder, it works your triceps, it works your chest, pectoral muscles, as well as your core. So your abdominals, your lower back, your glutes, hip flexors a little bit, because when you're locking yourself out, you should be a straight line, kind of similar to a stiff like a board. And because of that, you are working those similar, like it's almost like you're doing a small plank in between or during the entire workout. Now, I know there's certain people that can do hundreds of push-ups nonstop, no problem. That's not what the average person can do. Some people can't do one push-up, and that's what this is about. We're going to show and kind of go through the progression of the push-up from easiest to hardest. So, let's get started. Set this here. Now, with the push-up, if the normal push-up, which we consider feet flat on the ground, arms a little right shoulder apart, coming down and up being too much for you, you can start having your chest be higher than the ground, which will make it a little easier. So I have a chair right here with this. Again, you can always start on your knees if this is where you're at, just to get a little bit of core activation, get those arms and the chest firing a little bit. Now, once that becomes too easy, because once you can do about 15 to 20, especially once you get 25, that's when it's time to progress, especially until you get to like that regular push-up. And then if you want to really start pushing numbers because you want to be able to do 50 or 100, whatever it is, then start pushing numbers. But till like once you get there, that's when you can kind of push numbers as opposed to progress. Now, right here, again, body long, stiff, from ankles to shoulder, straight line. Coming down, coming up, coming down, coming up. As you come down with a push-up, your elbow should drop just below the shoulders. So from shoulder to elbow should be somewhere around a 20-ish degree angle, 15 to 20. Some people want it a little more, some people a little higher, but you don't ever want to be 90 coming in because that's going to put a lot of strain on the shoulders. From this progression is when now you're going to be on the floor and you don't need any equipment. So, knees on the floor. Again, create that long, straight body. And then you're coming down and up, down and up. It's kind of hard to show, but I am in a straight line. My shorts kind of just droop, making my back look saggy, but I promise I'm in a straight line. And you start to rep these out. As these become easier, then you're going to want to go to your feet. Now with this one, I would suggest going feet a little bit wider apart, kind of similar to your hands, because being on 4 as opposed to like the tripod with your feet together, again, distributes that weight a little bit more, so it's going to take a little weight off the shoulders and the arms. So wide base, arms out, coming down and up. Now let's say you're able to do that 20, 25 on your knees, and you're able to get to 25 and you're able to do more. What you can start doing is doing the next level, and this works for all levels, but start doing the next level, and then once you get to that fatigue point, drop down. So you're up here, you get tired, drop to your knees, and then finish your set. So you do your, let's say, 10 to fatigue, and at fatigue you're like, all right, I only get 10 in. Get to your knees and try to get another 5 out. That progression is going to help. Now from there, you're going to go feet together. So now, heels together, and you're doing the push-up. This is what most people would consider your normal push-up. And this is where, as an average person, this is where you might want to start pushing because you got to the regular push-up, you want to start pushing more reps as opposed to progressing even further, because you want more muscular strength and cardio out of the push-up as opposed to strength and power. But let's say you don't want to continue on increasing your numbers. So you're like, I can do 25 of these. What's the next level? 25, 30. Now it comes down to your regular push-up. With this, to make things more difficult for yourself, you can set like a metronome. They have apps for it on your phone. With that, it'll be on a beep. So as opposed to just kind of going for it, it's going to be beep, 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 beep. And because you're stuck on that time frame, it's going to make things harder. You can do it on a 2 count, so it's 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up. That's going to make it a little harder. You can make it a little more explosive by coming down and coming off the ground. Now to make it even more explosive, you can clap. This one gets kind of risky only because if you don't get your arms back down, you are going to face plant. Now you're not falling far, which is the plus about push-up. The odds of getting hurt pretty low until you start pushing like a handstand push-up, where if you fall, you are landing pretty hard on your face. But you come here, so you can do those. If you want to work some forearm strength, get on your fingertips, changing how you place your hands, coming out wider. It's going to work different. Coming to one side, the other. One, the other. It's going to make it a little harder. If you want more weight on your hands, let's see if I can just go back to the couch here. You're going to elevate your feet, because now that your feet are up higher, more weight shifts to your chest, putting more weight on your arms. You can also start working a little more of that upper chest as opposed to the lower, and focus a little more on the shoulders. So you're up here now. And again, with each of these, you can start doing that wider arm, side to side. Try to do the clapping. You can continuously raise your feet until you start getting real high. And at that point, I get closer to the handstand push-up. But again, progressing slowly through these, don't try to make the jump too fast. You're going to hurt yourself because you're going to put too much strain on the shoulders, and that's when injury happens. Get comfortable doing, again, 25-ish, and then once you're able to do that, slowly progress. And then if you start to fatigue out early, drop down a little bit, make it easier for yourself. So let's say I start here and I'm coming through, fatigue starts to set in, come forward, keep going. Fatigue sets in, drop to the knees, finish out. If you want to make this more of a power explosive movement, you're doing shorter reps, faster, but with that higher intensity. So you're doing those popping up. You're going to do it with your feet elevated. You're going to throw on a weighted vest. If you want to make it more of a cardio thing, you want to do more reps, you want to do longer, slower reps, go to fatigue, rest for a short period of time, go again. If you want more power, rest a little longer so that you're fully rested, so you can really push for that second set. So once you're fatigued for cardio, give it that longer or shorter rest for cardio, because you want to start fighting through that fatigue state, where if you want power, you want to be close to rested, so you want like a 3-minute rest period, so you're really ready to go, so each set is close to the same distance or same length. So hope this helps. Good luck, get out there, start doing push-ups.